Today we're looking deeper into Moana, not as a children's movie, but as an ancient myth retold. This is not just a film, but it's a coded message. In Moana, Fiti is the mother. But when her heart is stolen, she transforms. She becomes Ka, the volcanic destroyer. This symbolism is ancient. The mother becomes destructive when she is wounded. She becomes fire instead of creation, heat instead of growth. Moana's story begins when the heart of Fiti is stolen by Maui. But what is the heart? When this heart is taken away, the world begins to decay. Islands die, the ocean retreats. Life shrivels. This mirrors what happens spiritually when the heart chakra is blocked, suppressed, or violated. When the heart is missing, life becomes chaotic. Destruction replaces creation. Fear replaces love. She is the wound. She is the same being as Fiti, but operating from pain instead of love. This is the divine feminine in her shadow aspect. The rage, the fire, the eruption that happens when her essence is stolen or suppressed. In real-world mythology and psychology, this is the moment when the feminine energy turns protective, reactive, and explosive. She becomes a volcano because her heart is missing. She burns because she cannot create. This is a symbol of trauma. Moana is not just a chosen one. She is the one who remembers. Her role is to return the heart, the lost essence, back to the mother. She represents intuition, courage, inner calling, the voice of spirit, the new generation reconnecting to ancient wisdom. Moana's journey across the ocean mirrors the spiritual journey inward. The ocean chooses her because she listens. She hears the call that everyone else ignores. She is guided by the feminine element, water, to restore what was taken from the feminine source, the heart. At the core of this story is the transformation scene, one of the most powerful symbolic moments in modern animation. Moana walks toward Ka without fear. She says, "You know who you are." This is the key. The shadow version collapses. The fire dissolves. The volcano cools. The mother remembers. When the heart returns, the destructive side melts away and the true self comes forward. This is the symbolic healing of trauma, the reunion of the lost feminine, the restoration of the earth. It's the moment when love replaces fear and the mother becomes whole again. In part 1, we explored Fiti, the earth mother, and how the stolen heart transformed her into Ka, the shadow version of herself created by trauma, loss, and disconnect from her core essence. Now we shift into part 2. Because the story does not just show what happens when the feminine heart is taken. It also shows who took it, why he took it, and what that act symbolizes on a deeper level. To understand the wound of the mother, we now have to understand Maui, the shapeshifter. Maui's ability to shapeshift is not just a cool power. It is a symbol of identity instability. He doesn't know who he is at his core. His body is constantly changing because he has no inner anchor. He uses forms the way insecure people use personas, to be liked, to be praised, to be seen. A performance, not a transformation. Maui represents the shadow masculine, the part of the masculine energy that is wounded, abandoned, unvalidated, and constantly searching for worth outside of itself. Instead of grounding into purpose, he shapeshifts into whatever form gives him approval. In part 1, we talked about how the heart of Fiti represents the feminine life force, the source of creativity, balance, nurturing, and harmony. So why did Maui take that heart? Disconnected, incomplete. It tries to fill that void by stealing the feminine's power. This is emotional truth. When the masculine loses its inner stability, it tries to borrow energy from the feminine. Loved, heroic. He wants validation for what he can do, not for who he is. In symbolic terms, this is the moment when the masculine takes from the feminine instead of supporting it. He steals what he was meant to protect, and the entire world pays the price. Maui represents the parasite energy, the force that drains the mother's power and causes the entire realm to fall out of harmony. He doesn't give life, that he uses life. This is the same pattern seen in myth. The trickster, the thief of fire, the one who tries to control creation instead of aligning with it. When he takes Fiti's heart, he is not just stealing a stone. He is stealing the earth's ability to be herself. The parasite always targets the heart, always. The world decays, the ocean retreats. Life shrivels. Why? This is true in stories, in nature, in relationships, and in spiritual symbolism, when the masculine takes instead of protects, when it seeks admiration instead of alignment, when it masks instead of heals, its actions fracture the whole environment around it. Maui becomes the cause of the wound, but doesn't even understand the depth of what he's done. Like many wounded masculine archetypes, he hurts the feminine, but also hurts himself. His ego blinded him. His insecurity drove him. His hunger for validation led him. And the world breaks because of it. Even though Maui caused the crisis, the story doesn't leave him there. Moana enters as the balancing force, the intuitive one, the heart-led one, the one who listens to the mother. Moana shows Maui something no one ever has: accountability without judgment, courage without ego, direction without force. This is where Maui's arc begins to shift, not because he suddenly becomes strong, but because he finally begins to face his wound. When Maui admits what he did and stands beside Moana instead of in front, that's when the balance begins to return.